Hey, welcome back to the Sanders Kitchen. I'm Mike, and I have a great recipe today. It's a little bit of a secret right now, but you just hang in with me. You're gonna love what we're gonna do. Because when Pam and I go out on vacation and we have the opportunity to order this out, we always do. But there's always a slight disappointment because it's never really spicy enough. It's never really the right kind of stuffing that we like, because you know we're from South Louisiana. So I'm going to tell you what it is right now. We're going to make a stuffing that's going to go inside of this beautiful lobster. So we're going to have stuffed lobster. And this little guy and another one that we have is going to pleasure us with his meat and body. So, you know, before we ever get started, I just want to say, God, thank you for all of the food that you provided for us and for these creatures that you've given us domain over. And you know, we never really think about things like this when we're boiling crawfish. We just go get 30 pounds of crawfish, live creatures, throw them in that boiling water. We don't think two things about it. But this thing is a living creature, just like all of them, and we just need to thank God that He provides us with this. So we're going to put this guy back in the bag, and we're going to make our stuffing first, and then we're going to show you how to dispatch the lobster. There's videos all over the internet about how to do that. If you don't know what dispatch means, look it up. We'll do this humanely, and then we're going to cook it and eat it. It's going to be really, really good. So just hang in with me. You're going to love it. And just remember, please, all of the amounts and all the ingredients that we use are going to be in the description under the video. So before we get started, I want you to know that we bought a pound of Louisiana fresh shrimp, and we peeled them and deveined them and cleaned them up a little bit. That's why they're in this plate. This is claw crab meat. Now, when I used to cook with Frank Davis, Frank always used claw meat because he said it was sweeter, it had a great flavor. And so Frank was partial to claw meat. So guess what? I'm using claw meat, and I'm remembering my good friend who I love so much. Pam opened this container and she emptied it out on a plate, and she picked through it because claw meat has a lot of shells. It shouldn't, but it does because it's real crab. And so what you should do is, you know, just pick through it with a fork and see if you can find any shells. You know, you're going to miss a few here and there, and that's just, let me tell you how you feel about that. It's real crab, okay? So if you get a shell, good. You know it's real crab meat, not fish. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started cutting up a few veggies because I want to get this going. We have our skillet preheated. We're going to put 8 tablespoons of butter in there because we need a lot of fat for this recipe. We're going to add some olive oil in. Woohoo! I'm telling you, 2 or 3 tablespoons will do it. Now we'll turn the fire up, let that melt down, and now we're going to add in our onions, our bell pepper and celery, parsley, and our garlic. Okay. And we're going to saute all this until it's nice and soft and almost translucent. So it'll be maybe 6, 7 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't cook by time all the time. I cook by what I see. I have my heat on high, and we'll just work this until, like I said, until it's nice and translucent, and we'll come back and let you see what it looks like, because it's going to be some good. Take a look at how beautiful this is. It's nice and soft. That's what we were looking for. It probably took 6-7 minutes. I wasn't keeping time, but honestly, it looks great, and that's what I was hoping for. So right now, I'm going to add in a tablespoon of lemon juice. Let's go ahead, I'll go ahead and put in my seafood seasoning. That's a tablespoon. Now I'm using some Paul Prudhomme Seafood Magic. Oops, and there's another tablespoon right there. It was wet, so I'm going to scoop that out. Don't want to waste anything. Now that smells good. That smells some good, I'm telling you. We're going to stir that in just a touch. And then we're adding in some liquid crab ball. Not a lot, just a touch. Half a teaspoon is what it is. That's all it is. Okay, that's looking real good. Don't let me forget a couple of dashes of some Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of some white wine. Not much. Oh, that smells some good. Need a little bit more white wine for deglaze. Now the next thing we're going to do is add in our shrimp, because the shrimp is uncooked. So we want the shrimp to cook. Cook that in. That's only going to take a minute. We have all the right ingredients and some spices. We're not putting salt in right now. We're going to wait till last, because we don't want to over salt it. And I know that seafood seasoning has salt in it. So what we're going to do now is fold in our crab meat. Man, look at that. Man, that's a whole pound. Added a little white wine. I only had about 1/3 of a cup of wine left, and I'll probably use about half of that. Some chardonnay. Oh man, look at this, huh? Man, let's go ahead and taste this. Just like I thought. We could use a little more seasoning. My goodness. Okay. Get that 1/3 tablespoon in there. Mix it up. Go ahead and squeeze in a little bit more lemon juice. Now, let's add in our breadcrumbs. You know, it's kind of hard to tell you just how much breadcrumbs we're going to use unless I absolutely measure it out. But you know what? We're not really going to measure it. And fold it in. Look at that, how it's coming together. Real nice. See that? Okay. Now, let me get a little taste right here. That's good. So right now, we're going to put this in the bowl, and we're going to go get the lobsters, and we're going to show you how to take care of the rest of that. The oven's preheated, 425. We're going to put it in for about 15 minutes when we get through. So we'll have everything in the description. Don't worry about that. I'll tell you what, this is some good. I can't wait to wrap it up. See you in a minute. Hey buddy, how you doing? All right. So here we are. We have our first lobster ready to go. He was in the refrigerator. But what we're going to do is wrap him up like this so that he doesn't move too much. And then we're going to take another rag and put it underneath like this. There's going to be some liquids coming out. So on his head there is a joint right here, and just in front of that joint is where his brain is. So what we're going to do is put the knife right here. God bless you, friend. Here we go. And we're going to go all the way through with it. And just like that, he's gone. Okay? This is what we're going to do at this point. We're just going to flip him over like this, and we're going to split the crawfish. I'm so used to fooling with crawfish. We're going to split this lobster in half right down the middle. And you'll want to let the juices drain out back onto that rag. At this point, you can take those big rubber bands off, and you'll want to open him up like this. I'm going to take some shears and I'm going to cut that part out right there. Now when I get through pulling this off, I will get back with you and let you see the finished product. Well, at this point, what I did was I took the scissors and I cut the little bottom part, you know, the little shell off the meat, and then I pulled the meat up from the inside of the head, and I found the vein, pulled the vein out, and I cleaned the entire head out. I don't know if you can see this, but you know, I pulled the entire the lung area and everything right on out. So at this point, what I'm going to do is sprinkle some seasoning on. Like that. And I'm even going to take a little pinch of this lemon and give it a little drizzle. Not much, just a little bit. And then with my gloves on, I'm going to stuff the inside of his head, this cavity, with this awesome shrimp and crab meat dressing. Like this. Now we don't want to put too much over the tail, but we do want to cover the meat like that. See? Look how pretty that is. Now, that is absolutely beautiful. And before we put it in the oven, of course, you know my hands are kind of funky, but let me show you a little trick. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to take a little thin slice of lemon like that, and I'm going to cut it in half, and we're just going to layer a few of these right on top like this. And now we'll take our lobster and set it right here. Like that. And we're going to bake this for 15 minutes at 425 degrees. It's going to be beautiful, gorgeous, delicious. I can't wait. So we're going to finish up the other lobster, and then we'll show you putting it in the oven. So give me a few minutes. And so now they're going into a 425 degree oven for 15 minutes. I'm gonna set my little timer. And there it goes. We'll see you guys in about 15 minutes. It was in that 425 degree oven for 15 minutes. We had to widen the shelves out because, you know, these things are kind of stacked up right here. And man, I'll tell you, I did put them in for 16 minutes. But one more minute, and look, they're browned beautifully. And I don't want to dig into them right now. I'll tell you why, because Pam and I are going to go sit down and we're going to enjoy this together. So I just wanted to show you how beautiful they were, and it came out great. And I did peek. The meat's cooked perfectly, by the way. I can't wait. Anyway, if you guys like our video, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. If you have, thank you so much. We're blessed by your subscription. That's exactly what's going on. And so please make this for yourself. Lobsters don't have to be real big. You can get the little small ones. But with all that stuffing, it's going to be a lot of food, I can tell you. And we did boil some corn and some garlic, and it's going to be nice and spicy. Can't wait to eat this. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning into the Sanders Kitchen. Have a great week. Go get you some lobster and make some shrimp and crab meat stuffing the way we did, because it's awesome. And God bless you very much. Love you.